Hello, welcome to my channel. Well, today I shall highlight the basic guidelines for writing a dissertation or a thesis. It's going to be very useful for the research scholars. However, you should keep in mind that the guidelines may vary from one university to the other or one institute to the other. Well, let's start. It should be, your thesis or your dissertation work should be very precise. You should not unnecessarily include those items which are not important or not really necessary for your work. Clear? You should not bear in mind that if your thesis is large, okay, it includes a number of pages, it will be regarded as a good research work, okay? So that should be omitted from your mind. The next thing is that international standard white paper of A4 size should be used. All right, when we talk about the inches, it should be 8.27 inches into 11.7 inches. Now, coming to the font size, it should be 12. Okay. Next is the font style. It should be Times New Roman. Now, switching to the typing space, it should be 1.5. The next is the left and the right margin should not be less than 30 mm. So this is the A4 size paper. The left and the right side, it should not be less than 30 mm. And while talking about the top and the bottom, it should be at least 1 inch, okay, 1 inch. Or this one here, it should be at least 1 inch each. Okay, now why is that? As you see, this is your A4 size paper and you need sufficient space for binding. Alright, so it should have sufficient rooms for your binding. So that is why you need to leave the space. Clear? The next, here we have it. Pages should be numbered consecutively and clearly, preferably in the bottom middle. So you have your A4 size paper, the write-ups are here and the middle is preferred, okay? The bottom middle is preferred for the page numbering. Okay, now coming to the next is here, folding diagrams or charts should be arranged so as to open to the top and the right. Now this is for the convenience of the evaluator or the examiner. Clear? Or maybe people who will be later reviewing your works, or you will be, considering your work, they'll be checking for their own research work. So having completed, if your presentation is good, all right, for the users to use, or you may say user friendly, it will be very convenient for them to check or refer your thesis or your dissertation work. Now the next is paragraphs for chapters. It should always be double spaced because it looks very neat and clean. Preferably the first line indented is 0.5 inch. And this is very essential. Use the spelling checker All right. Or in case sometimes you see you have certain words that you would be using, you will be using on and on for your thesis work, and you don't have it in the dictionary. So in that case, what you can do is you can add the technical words for your discipline to its dictionary. So add to dictionary. There is an option, you can do that. Now see, yes, obviously I've spoken about this. Check the spelling by using the spelling checker, but however you need to recheck the spelling, punctuation, vocabulary and grammar. That's very important. Okay, many a times we happen to overlook it, and you will be finding that the front cover page has some spelling error, so that needs to be avoided. Therefore you check, recheck again and again till you're confident, or you're confident and sure enough that it is clear, it is clear and it is correct. Okay, there is no erroneous in your work. Well, switching to the next is, each tables and figures must fit within the required margins. So if in case you see it doesn't come in the portrait form, you can make it into the landscape. All right, so you should see that the whole item, the figure or table for that specific part or the portion to be discussed is shown in that page itself. All right, so you have to set it accordingly. The next is, chapter can be written in the center with bold capital letters. All right, so while writing the chapters, you make sure that it is written on top, middle, or the center of the page. All right, the top center of your page. You can use capital letters or make it bold. Okay, so if you have done it for one particular chapter, then you need to continue the same way. All right, the same way for the other chapters, the consecutive chapters. All right, till your bibliography. Well, the next is, headings should be written as per the research content and numbered accordingly. So for example, you have chapter 1. All right, so you will definitely have a main title, the main topic, then you will have subtopics. Okay, so under that subtopics you might have certain other topics that will be explaining or stating that particular paragraph or the above topic. So accordingly you need to justify that the bullets or the numbering are in such a way that it tells us what was before this particular part, or what was it stating prior to this particular portion of my discussion. Clear? So that is very important. Okay, so the headings should be written as per the research content and numbered accordingly. So if it is chapter 1, then you have under that some points like 1.0. all right, so under that 1.0 there are certain things more that needs to be discussed. So 1.0.1, So once that is done, coming to the next point of discussion for the same unit, or the same chapter, it should be 1.2. so it continues till you complete till you have completed explaining or stating with regards to that particular chapter. Okay, then switching to the next is headings should be written. Okay, that's I've already stated. Now your paragraphs, your writings, it should be aligned properly. So justify it. You may use Ctrl J, all right, for aligning it. Otherwise it might either come towards the left alignment, right alignment, okay, center alignment, so it doesn't look good. So justify the alignment. Then the next is you can use footnotes, which can be subscript numbers. You can use subscript numbers. Clear? I shall be discussing more about obviously I've discussed, I've shown, or the way you have to place your content in my previous video. However, in my upcoming videos I will be discussing how tables needs to be prepared, how abstracts, or everything relating to the research work I will be uploading gradually. Clear? So even with regard to the footnotes, bibliography, all those I will be discussing in my upcoming videos. So stay tuned, stay healthy. Yeah, that's very important. Well, coming to the next is reference can be provided for each chapter. So this is not a compulsion. However, you see, for each chapters we definitely refer to a number of books, journals, magazines, thesis, dissertation work, or many things, newspaper clippings, all right, or maybe governmental records, so many things. So you can include that, all those, as your reference for your chapters, for the chapters that you have used. Clear? So similarly, you'll have reference for your first chapter, your second chapter, and so on and so forth. Okay, ultimately at the end you can include the bibliography. So the bibliography must be single spaced, all right, with a blank line between entries. It should be prepared according to the internationally accepted conventions. So I will be speaking more about the bibliography part in my upcoming videos, as I have already stated. So till then, stay tuned, stay healthy. If you have any questions, you can write up, you can reach me. I shall be coming up with the topic accordingly. So see you all.